Brethren, you are God's choice. From the beginning, God's choice has been man. Before there was a woman, God set his approval upon man. Now God had other options. Even though woman had not been formed yet, God had all of the fish of the sea. And he had all the fowls of the air. And he had all of the land animals. So God could have made another choice other than that of man. Am I right about it? He could have looked through his creation, and there was not anything pleasing to him or optional to the degree where he wanted them to be in the place that he placed man. He could have created something else. But the choice of God was man. He knew about the man of well that dwelt in the deepest parts of the sea. He knew about the great whites that roamed the waters. He knew about that. He had knowledge of the bald eagle, whose strength cannot be denied, whose presence is always felt, may be known as the king of the birds. Not the strongest bird, but the king of the birds. Daring enough to fly head on into the storm. God knew about his abilities, but God didn't choose the eagle. He knew about all of the land animals. He knew about the mammoth, elephant, and he knew about the lions. He knew about the tigers, and he knew about the bears. It looks like God might have chosen a lion. That may have been my choice. I like them so much, especially the male lion. The only thing that he has to do is lay around all day and wait for them to be served. And then somebody comes in and is messing with the girl lion. Then they beat him up, and then he go back and lay down, and they bring him the food or call him when dinner is served. I wouldn't want to be a deer or anything like that. But God knew about them. But God chose man to declare that this is someone whom I have created in my image and made in my likeness. God made man so that when he peered over the balconies of heaven, that he could look down and he could see a reflection of his own self. He created man, and he put him in a place, a nice place to live, and he told man to go to work. Most folk think that man was only summoned to work after sin, but God gave him a job before was any sin. God didn't want you just sitting around all day at home like a lion. But God wanted you on someone's job. I don't know if it's all right to talk like that here or not. But men, real men, want to work.
Yes.
And he not only gave him that job, but he gave him another job. And the other job that God gave to man was that he gave the job to him to rule.
Yes.
He made man to be in charge.
Yes.
So if God made man to be in charge, why is it that when you go to these homes, you see the wife and the children, and that's a part of another sermon, not this one. But he made man to rule, and he made man to lead. So if God made him to lead, then why is it that it's always the wife that's edging the man or pushing the man to come to something? Why is it always the female that is urging the children to come to Sunday school? Why is it that the church, as far as leadership, as far as working in the church, why is it that it is dominated by women?
All right.
See, to lead, it doesn't mean just to be out front. There are people in front of me all the time. I wouldn't follow anywhere. And if I don't follow, that means that they are not the leader, even though they're in the front. Say amen. But in order to lead, you have to give someone something to follow. And God gave Adam something for Eve to follow. Not this Adam over here. He started smiling when I said that. Not him. Don't follow him. But he gave Adam something for Eve to follow. It was a man that she could respect.
Yes, sir.
Adam already had his house. She didn't have to worry about how the rent was going to be paid.
Yes.
He gave her someone that had somewhere to live, that had a job. And you remember Adam named all of the animals. You know what that tells us? It tells us that Adam was intelligent, so she gave him someone who was intelligent. Because it was his job to lead. It was his job to rule. He was after the manner of God. Not God, but he was after the manner of God. He was in the image and after the likeness of God. And because God is leading, and because God rules, and not only rules, but God super rules, he put the same thing in a man, and he was willing to respect the leadership of her man, because this man was God's choice to lead. You could have given that to anyone. You could have given that to the female if he had desired to, but he chose to give it to the man. And God never intended for there to be a switch.
All right.
But God intended for it to be